Good afternoon on what is a cool, bright and sunny day. It is Sunday the 5th of November, Guy Fawkes Day, and I've got a nice hot cup of tea and a box to finish off unboxing. What I've got in here, if I can, in here, a couple of things, and I have already done an unboxing of this. This is Tiny Epic Vikings from Gamelin Games, and this essentially does, a board game of Viking sagas and raiding and adventuring and so on in a tiny little box. And the Tiny Epic series packages bigger games into smaller boxes. Basically, in Tiny Epic Vikings, lead a clan of Vikings over 3 areas in hopes of claiming the Icelands as your own. Play Viking cards that represent your clan's leaders, choosing the best builders, harvesters, explorers, and warriors. Raid and conquer the islands with settlers, build boats and temples to gain influence, and battle for the favour of the gods. So, already done an unboxing of that, and as of course that it's a Tiny Epic game, and I like the series, and I like the concepts behind it and the format. But now we get on to Tiny Epic Vikings Ragnarok. This is an expansion to Tiny Epic Vikings. So let's get this open. And typically, gaming games will produce basically a box game that you can play one, and you don't need the expansion, but they would do one as well for extra content, extra rules, and expand the game to make it even more epic. And with this, it's a closer expansion for Tiny Epic Vikings. This is truly the end of the world. Ragnarok. The sea in the bitter north has frozen over, and the giants of Jotunheim are devastating the runic isles. The power of the gods is waning, and they are furious. In a last-ditch effort, they have deployed the Valkyries, the winged warrior maidens of Asgard, to aid the mortal Vikings in slaying the scourge of giants. Every true-blooded Viking knows that to give one's life, felling a giant would be a greatest honour for the clan. So what you get in here is double-sided map board, a Tiny Epic first, 6 Valkyrie cards, 6 Giant Slayers cards, 4 Valkyrie mats, 6 God mats, 12 wooden Valkyries, 9 wooden giants, a rulebook, and this is so it doesn't say how many players it needs, but it's basically it's going to be essentially the same number of players, I would imagine, as the core book, because that the core set, because that makes sense. And inside, what we've got, and we have just a nice image on the inside back cover, inside of the box lid. Sorry, and I'll show you underneath that. So let's have a look at the rulebook first. Quite slim. Gives you a prologue. Gives you all the contents. How to set it up as the expansion and add it to your game, including adding the Bitter North map. And then we get into actions. So we'll just see, how to slay a giant, and the cleanup phase where you have the giants reduce fury, how the Valkyries act, deploying, and Valkyries on the ground, and even options for a solo Valkyrie setup, so you can play it, by yourself, and further rules on the back. And the first bag we have these are, see those are the giants pieces. I'll just get one of these out, I'll show you. There we go. So that is these are not to really stand. You can stand these up, but they're quite narrow, but you probably would lie them down. And then we have the Valkyries. If I can get my fingers into the bag, don't want to go. So here we go. These are much smaller, and they also have a thicker base, so they're going to stand up a bit more. But here we go. There's the Valkyrie. So slip that back in. Then we have the sets of cards. So just open this. So we have the various cards for the Valkyrie, including Brynhilda. I guess these are for the giants. So those are sort of like the character cards. Just slip this back in the pack. And then going to come out, and we have sort of like a general kind of cards with details of the clans on the back. And so on. So you've got several of those. The playmats for the gods, so Balder, god of beauty, Heimdall, the watchman, Mana, goddess of peace, Sigyn, goddess of loyalty, Sol, goddess of the sun, and Tyr, god of bloodshed. There's tracking around the outside, both representing sort of like, you know, damage and so on. So you've got those as well. Just slip those. Packet. Base of the box is plain. The map, the board. There we go. So we have the North Seas, double-sided. So if you flip it over, and this just sits atop, you know, just basically above the top of the map in the core rules. And this all neatly packs down, just about neatly, because the thing is they do kind of pack them quite tightly, and literally I'm just sort of like trying to flatten those into one layer, so that I can close close the lid. Like that. And there we have it. We have, and even then, it's just about closes. So yeah, that is Tiny Epic Vikings Ragnarok, the expansion to Tiny Epic Vikings. As I say, these are always great little games. In general, it hasn't put a foot wrong with any of these games. They're still very playable, very kind of like portable as well because of their size, and they don't take up too much space on the shelf. They don't take up too much space on the table, and they explore big themes, and they're very well appointed. They're really great. Yeah. So, Tiny Epic Ragnarok for Tiny Epic Vikings. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this unboxing of the Nook, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings of the Nook, where you'll see me out here with a box containing a book or game which I will unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea, then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing of the Nook. Be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.